the Switch had its major update since the release. I believe it is update 4.00. And a lot of things were added, such as recording 30-second video clips from certain games. It's interesting that not all games support this. Only certain of them. I think there's only something like 6 Switch games that support video recording as of the release of this, but I'm sure more will be added. And they're also even talking about stretching out that 30 seconds to be, longer amounts of time, which is a great idea because 30 seconds does seem a bit restrictive, one might say. And I don't think you have those types of limitations on the Xbox One or the PS4. So, and the Switch is competing with them, so it'd be nice to have that option be longer. But another part of the update, which was discovered by the YouTube channel Game Explain, is that the Wii U adapter for GameCube controllers is now supported. Meaning the GameCube controller now works just like any other controller on the Switch when it's docked, of course, because you need those USB ports. So this is interesting. There is a bit of a problem because you are missing things like the home button, the share button, the minus button, which is, select. And you're also missing the ZL button, ZL trigger. Because, of course, GameCube controller only had the one Z button and then the two L and R shoulders or triggers or whatever you want to call them. So it works unless you need to rely on any one of those aforementioned buttons. So it doesn't quite work in, like, say, Fire Emblem Warriors, because you do need ZL in that game. And I guess you can remap certain buttons to work around it, but it's interesting because Nintendo claims that they didn't even know that the GameCube controllers would work with this new update. Which,
what?
I don't necessarily know that I believe that. I think what has probably happened here is that they put it in the update, not thinking that anyone would actually try to use GameCube controllers because they didn't work up until now. So why do you think there's GameCube controller support on the Switch now, Matt?
Because with the new Smash game that they said that would come out on the Switch, they would have to, because pro players have said that they wouldn't use like Wii controllers or anything like that to play.
Did they say they were going to do that? They're going to do a Smash Brothers game on the Switch?
I'm pretty sure they said they were going to have a port for it. It's either going to be a port for...
That's what everyone is thinking that they're going to do. I don't know that they've actually announced it yet, but it would be silly not to.
And it may not even be, a new Smash game. It would... I think it would probably just be a Switch port of the Wii U and 3DS version with... I would hope they would do this. All the DLC just on there.
Well, they did that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it would. I think you're going to get a very similar package. Right. And like I've said before, what I would love to see them add is the 3DS exclusive stages. Like, could you imagine Gerudo Valley in HD?
It'd be pretty fun.
That would be.
Also, I really prefer the 3DS version of it wasn't like a story mode, but like the.
Oh, you're talking about Smash Rush?
Yeah, I prefer that over the Mario Party ripoff.
Yeah, that because you didn't have any control in that game. Like, bad things would happen to you, and there was nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Whereas Smash Run, no, it really does come down to skill, and you running around and getting collecting as much stat boosters as possible. So yeah, totally. I would love to see Smash Run come to a console Smash Brothers.
Also, imagine doing that with your friends.
Imagine, well, and what they wanted to do with that for the 3DS is they wanted to have it so that you would see each other, because you can do it locally with your friends, but you don't run into each other. Everyone kind of just gathers their own stats for 5 minutes, and then at the end of the 5 minutes, then everyone's brought together for like either a race or some kind of battle.
See, I think it would be fun to just, like, if you could see them
and mess with each other. That's what they wanted to do
beat
originally.
them, and if you kill them, you get, like, some of their stats.
You get all their stats. That'd be so cool.
That may be a little extreme. Having someone that's just, like, God tier and someone who has, like,
yeah, true,
4 or 5.
But that's kind of how it works in that game anyway. The other reason, and I do agree, I think that they are going to release a port of Smash Brothers for Wii U on the Switch. I would expect it within the next year. The other thing is, a lot of people have been thinking that the GameCube games library is going to be re-released as a virtual console. So, and I know that those L&R triggers are pressure sensitive, and I believe that the case with that is you don't have pressure sensitive buttons on any other controller that Nintendo makes. So you would have to have GameCube controllers to use certain GameCube games. Like I know F-Zero X took advantage of that as well. Or I'm sorry, F-Zero GX. But I think that and Smash Brothers is, yeah, that's a good example. That's a good reason to bring over the compatibility. Plus, they really need to start making more GameCube controllers. I know that they made some of them and that they were like exclusively for Wii U and Wii. They need to make more.
They just need to make that the staple controller.
Well, if they're going to continue to make Smash games or re-release Smash games, because remember, Melee is one of the games that they're thinking they may, or a lot of people think that, hey, if they're going to bring back, or if they're going to bring on GameCube as virtual console, then they need to bring Melee. So,
you think Sakurai would allow all the things, or all the exploits in that game to come back?
Oh, sure. I mean, they knew those exploits were in the game when they released it. They knew wave dashing was in there. They knew, foxtrotting was in there. They had tested it, but they were just like, number one, they thought no one would ever find it, and secondly, they didn't have the time because they developed that game so fast. It's a miracle that it's such a good game, even though it's kind of broken. So yeah, I don't think anyone's really scratching their head over this except maybe Nintendo. For some reason, I don't know. Hey, who threw GameCube compatibility on here? No, I'm not falling for it, at least. And neither is Matt.